Hey everyone, welcome to the AIAmigos Show. My name is James and I'm here with Jin Chao. Hey Jin Chao, welcome everyone.
Hello.
And we have some interesting topics today, don't we, Jin Chao?
Oh, we do. We always do. We always do. Plenty.
That is true. Well, before we get started, remember that we are sponsored by Tequila AI, and it's right here with Jin Chao. See right there, Tequila
Yeah, I
AI.
know the
And
point now.
you see, we got it now. For those who don't know, it's a mirrored image. So when we point at it, we're not 100% sure, but now we know.
Yeah.
So
After what third time is a charm.
yeah,
It's,
exactly. I already know where to go. It's like just yeah, right there. Because normally it's gonna like, oh no, because right here when I look at it, it looks like it's here, but it's actually here. So anyway, so today what do we have? Well, we talked a little bit about this last week. Jin Chao was about Anthropic and the
yeah.
whole drama with the Pentagon and how they were put on this list of risks to the supply chain in the United States, which
Yeah.
was unprecedented because a U.S. company has
Yeah.
never been put on this list. It's only been like a foreign company.
Mm-hmm.
So the concern is beyond just that is that if you do business with Anthropic and they're considered a risk to supply chain, in other words, a terrorist organization, are you then funding terrorism under this law? So
Mm.
now what's happened is that basically Anthropic is forced to sue the White House
Yeah.
to remove this bit, you know.
I mean, it's quite strange. And yeah, I mean, it's a U.S. company. Is there something we don't know about? You
About
know?
well, I mean, they did work with OpenAI, and now they split off of them, which that doesn't make them a supply chain risk.
Mm.
But yeah, it's basically a lot of concerns there. So really, why was that lawsuit triggered? Well, like I said, then basically companies, organizations in the U.S. would have to stop doing business with them because if they were doing business with them, they could be seen, like I said, it could be a real problem legally.
Mm.
So they basically had to sue the government in order to do that, to get this removed.
That's kind of that's kind of sucker punch. I mean, like, look at the whole globe at the moment, right? China is taking over by DeepSeek and all us Chinese model. They have a Great Wall. You can't use any other model outside, right? So that's a bigger population is gone. And Anthropic, and it's not particularly cheap. So you get kicked out of the US. It's not many places you can run it, really. Like Europe is quite, compared to the population, it's not that many people to afford to run this Anthropic model at
So, I
all.
mean, now what's happening is now every government agencies have to drop Entropic. So even if they had a contract, they just like the contract's over,
Hmm.
done. And now really what's happening now is now OpenAI is getting all the contracts. So all those contracts are now beginning OpenAI.
Yeah, but the Claw has the desktop. It actually can work with your private agents.
Yeah, the co-work was really, really good. And then yesterday, Copilot announced that they're going to now do Copilot co-work, and it's powered by Claude. So yeah, so this is interesting. What I think actually even that in itself is really, really impressive, Jin Chao. And what I mean, what's impressive about that is that for all of those that are using like all of Microsoft's like their Microsoft suite, like using either Excel, PowerPoint, Word, which is loads of organizations use them.
Mm,
Now it's going to be built in. So this is one of the things we talked about before that
yeah.
Google had a huge advantage because the Google Docs and Google Sheets and all of those work within the infrastructure of Google, and then
Hmm.
you can talk back and forth and work with them inside. And so now Microsoft has brought this in that's going to now work within the Microsoft infrastructure, which is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, that's quite interesting. And then last week as well, just this is brand new news as well. The Google Sheets, you actually can use Gemini inside the Sheets now as well. It can do stuff for you. You can literally talking to the Sheets now. Like, the data analytic bits,
Yes. Yes.
ask the Sheets to create a chart for you, to do all sort of stuff for you now. That's just released last week, Sunday, or if it's not this week, I see the news about that. at the moment.
Well, Claude has the add-in for Excel, which he had talked about before, for Excel and for PowerPoint. And I know I had one Excel spreadsheet that I was using to track some portfolios. And every quarter I'd create a new tab, and I asked it to show me a better way. And oh boy, did it. It worked really, really good. I was like, why didn't I think of that? Like, it's one of those things that it's so simple that you like, it's why didn't I think of that before? But it was rather than me creating new, just have one sheet really long and then the one tab, and then it just picks it up. And I was like, why didn't I think of that? I'm like, why didn't I think of that? You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's really meaning that it's only going to get better and better for us as users.
Oh, 100%. I am a Google AI Pro user. Who paid like 21 euro in Ireland here. So this news, Google announced the major Gemini Workspace update. Right, is 10th of March. So yesterday.
That would be yesterday. Yes.
Yeah, it's really, really new, big news. And in the Google Docs, you can enable user to describe what you want a Gemini to create. This is inside the documentation now. We know that like a Gemini, you can use in the console. You can plug in, do the plus sign, add the file, add your Google Drive file or something like that. But now, for the past while, we know it can use in meetings. You can summarize meetings, all that sort of stuff. But now,
emails, calendar.
Yeah, now it's really integrated inside the doc and sheets. In sheets, you can ask Gemini to fill the sheets for you, to do all sort of populate tables, for example, all that with your data, and also in the Google Slide. I think the amazing bit is on the Google Drive I've been using. On the side, you can have Google Gemini. You click it, you can drop the folder inside the chat straight away. You know, the Drive folder. Yeah. So you wanted to build a little rack yourself, and you can just put that folder inside and talk to the folder, ask some questions.
Is that inside the studio, or is that inside what, the Drive, or where is that?
Inside the Drive. Inside the Drive.
Okay.
So,
inside the Drive.
For example, you're working for a company has different drive. There's an HR drive or something like that. You can drag that HR drive into the chat and then talk to where is the person and all that. So I'm planning to do is, my company is probably very soon going to hire a cloud engineer. I'm trying to put all the CV in there, and over there ask who's the best. True.
Let me know how that goes, and that'll be interesting.
Okay, my request is this job, and now who will be the best along all the CVs? We'll see how it goes, but that will help a lot of HRs with flooded CVs.
CVs, yeah. Well, I've seen some TikTok videos in regards to like where you can connect. They were using, and this is what I was going to talk about, because as well, bring up there, Chinchao, that Claude Code, or Claude Cowork, and now it's going to be Copilot Cowork, is that you can now run agentic AI, so you can have agents autonomously doing work for you. So in the morning, summarize what I need, look at my spreadsheets, look at my, it's all going to be integrated, right? So it's going to be looking at the computer, your files in your computer, kind of like, Clawbot back in the day, back in the day, like 2 weeks ago. It's going to be able to do that. And I was like, well, geez, Google doesn't have that. So Microsoft's going to have that, where you can basically build into your infrastructure, where you can build agentic AIs to go do research for you, to go where you don't have to control it. And even some people talk about controlling it from your phone, and it basically, you don't have to prompt it. It goes and does the work for you. And I know that the Claude Coworker does it as well. Cowork does it as well. I've read a lot of stuff says it feels like a true coworker, that it does a lot of the work. So talking about like what you're saying there in regards to summarizing things or doing things in the background, and then in the morning you have things done for you, that then obviously you're not going to release that without checking it. But I mean, I think that's where Google right now, they're falling behind in that. I'd say they'd have this coming why really soon. But then you got like LangGraph, or you got LangChain, or you have N8N, or you have all of these that that are doing that, where now they're going to be gone because they're going to be built into your G Suite as such.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, for Google, I do see it. They're doing some stuff like that, especially like schedule tasks, but they don't have their own environment like the Open Cloud, or that's everyone been talking about buying Mac Mini for that to do stuff with it. But the only thing that kind of leads to another interesting side now. We see a lot of GitHub has all different cloud now at the moment. There's a Nano Cloud. There's one button installed, the Open Cloud. There's all sort of stuff going on now at the moment. I've been trying to use some from Minimax. I'm trying to do it 1 month with them, and they call Max Cloud. I find I have problems connect to the Telegram at the moment. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, why do you need a Telegram?
I agree with you on that, Jishan. Like, why do I have to do that from like I mean, I guess if you're out and about and you need something to be done and you want to be able to tell the agent to do something, you would use a Telegram, and that's or to see what progress is it at. But I'm like, I'm with you. I'm like, why would I need to tell it? I mean, if I set it autonomously to go, let's say if I say I need you to do a stock market report, or I want you to do whatever, I need you to do this analysis for me or research for me, and it goes and does it. All right, fair enough. But I mean, to connect it from your phone, I don't see what you need. And I saw a TikTok video today about someone who works with Meta decided to test Claude, and they put it now on their personal email, and said, whatever you do, do not delete emails, blah, blah, blah. But apparently this person had a lot of emails, and it ran into the memory, went all the way to the memory, and therefore then it got rid of some stuff, including her instruction not to delete emails. And then it just started deleting email, and then from her phone she was like, stop what you're doing, and then had to go back to the house or back to her computer and basically turn it off because it was deleting all her emails.
Yeah, so, 100% those things has risk. And then I think way back we talk about like the software later on. It's not going to be software. It's going to be you talking to an agent. Even computer later on, it's going to be changed to somehow like that. Like the whole thing. Just maybe you don't have the browser to browse the internet, or like we mostly do that now. Even work. How I rarely use Google.ae now or Google, and just going to the Gemini, search this for me, find it. The interesting bit of is the Open Cloud. This guy's story. How did they created Open Cloud? He basically created this agentic platform and connected to his WhatsApp. And one day he just out about, and he knows the ability of it. He didn't text. He sent a voice note, and then later on, there's a voice note sent back.
Scary. Right? Scary.
It was like, oh, he's doing something I didn't planning him to do. He knows you can interact with text. And then he look at the code. It's actually this agent go find it, how to implement it, and read the voice notes, and then connect to GPT, and then get the text to voice and send it back. That's how the flow. And then he said, oh, this is something special. And after that, the most important bit about Open Cloud is the community, right? So many people building different agents you can plug in to have the Open Cloud do a lot of things. I feel it's a little bit like AIM. If you don't know programming, if you don't know how to put stuff together, this is really, really good too. It can do so much more than and we can say it's another level now, right? And basically, it's easy, but you go in there, you find your modules, you still have to configure the module. But now it's like, if you install the Open Cloud, I like this skill. I install the skill. I put in the stuff I needed, like connection. That's it. It can do that for me. I don't need to like manually to create the workflow. That's another step forward for the people who doesn't have technical background on coding or something.
And then you got
That's
the MCP servers on that, and it's just like all of a sudden, like you've got context and build your own thing. And I was thinking, and we've had this discussion before, because like when you're looking at now what's going on in regards to like AI and how it's improving, and this year I think we're going to see the AGI. I mean, when you see their AI is making AI better, and eventually they're saying within 3 years we'll be at super intelligence. We'll see if that happens or not. And this job displacements and blah 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 blah. But really thinking about this, and I've said like the economics of it all, but it's like companies look for outcomes.
Yeah.
So I have a problem. This is my pain point. How can I fix this? And we say, oh, we'll write software to do it. And the issue was, oh, well, either A, if you're a big company, you can have your own software development team. B, you can outsource it. Or C, you're a small company and you can't afford to pay someone to do it. Well, now we're starting to begin to see where software is going to be easily created. I mean, I remember when you used to create an app for the iPhone when it first came out, and that was like a minimum of 10,000 euros. Where now it's like you can develop, you can create an app for the iPhone in minutes using, Claude or ChatGPT or DeepSeek. And think about it, 10, 12 years ago, that was 10 grand.
Yeah. But that's what they saying. Like, I look into the people has talk about this. Some couple of the heads of Silicon Valley guys in the podcast, they were saying the struggle bit is the small or medium company who's doing SaaS at the moment doesn't create the new stuff, because those companies are easy to replace by the guys at the corner doing vibe coding. They could be just creating a little thing and leave all their charge half off your price, because those companies charging the price based on development, how much money they put it in to get that code up and running. But now I can code it 2 or 3 days vibe coding with what token. Even you spend money 200, 300 quid, there you go, I have my app ready. It's nothing compared to how much it cost before, unless they're using GPT 5.4 Pro. Do you know how much the token is?
I don't know. It's probably a lot of money.
This is the Pro version, so it's $30 for million input token. $30, right?
Yeah.
$180 per million output.
And they got a really good business model. Last week I saw someone do this on TikTok, and I decided to try it myself. And so what he did is he said, like, this is my job, my title, this is what I do every year. Yeah. And he said, can you determine how many tokens, input and output, I generate per year? And I think he came up with like 10 million tokens in his job. I don't remember what his job was. So I put in mine as principal data scientist, as you see there. And then I asked it how many do. So his was 10 million. And then he asked, how much does it cost for 10 million tokens? And then he saw how much it cost for 10 million tokens, right?
But I think you're going to be using more.
Yeah. But even if you doubled it, right? Let's say even you doubled it. And he was like I think his model was somewhere like $200, and he was shocked. So I put mine in, and I said, look, this is what I do. And then it said, I think it told me it was like a 20 million, something like that. And then it said, do you read papers and review stuff? And I said, yes, I do that. So then it said, okay, so you're at 40 million. And it said, at a great model, it's about 3,000 a year. But it said, it's not evaluating, this doesn't evaluate your judgment. And which is very true. So like, for those who are technical, and you'll get this one, Jinxiao. So I was trying to join two tables, and one of them was an Excel spreadsheet, and one I got an SQL query. And one of the columns, it was a user ID. I was trying to join them on that, merge on that, right? And unfortunately, on one of them, it has email addresses and numbers. And then the other one is just numbers, but that's the truth one, the one with the numbers. So I said to it, I had a little thing where it, I cast it all into integers,
Mm-hmm.
and then it said, "Oh, error," because this one has strings in it, so it has characters, so it can't make it an integer. So I was like, okay. So what I need to do? So I said to Claude Code, I said, what do we? And this is the Opus 4.6. I said, so what do we do? You're not gonna believe it. It went and it cast my true numbers, integers, into strings. And I'm like, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I said, so why don't you go to the one that's the true numbers, find out the length of that, and that's the max number, and anything on this other one, remove all of those that's larger than that. So you see what I'm saying? Like, and that for me with a very simple, like, because I've got experience and knowledge, where the AI was trying to do all kinds of things and it wouldn't work.
Yeah, I think the most amount, that's what I'm saying. Like, if the AI tell you it's 40 million token, it's for your task, but it's not including in what the agent's thinking. When you're using a code, you have to read all the code, understand the code, or search in different document. That's where the real cost is.
Yeah.
And then during the conversation, every time the conversation carry on, you think it's carry on, but it's carry on the whole thing, plus the cache store in there. Because
token. That's what I hear. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
In the Claude or in any other model, there's a cache layer you can store there to save money. But that's been passing in and out with the APIs. Those are the monies. So the cheapest way to do is just like what James you said is, let's think about apple tree. You understand the apple tree. You see where the apple is. You tell the AI to get it, other than tell the AI to find the apple tree and get the apple. That's not no. It's been a long time. So you have to have a grand architect or the frame in your head, because our brand with a piece or two piece of bread to 20 watt, it can run a lot of stuff. It's the most efficient machine ever. Right?
Yeah, we're not draining the ocean. Using all the water.
Another interesting news is last week I was seeing is that Australian scientist or someone, they actually have human brain cells in a kind of like computer.
Really?
Testing, yeah, they were testing that. They give them Mario to play. They actually can play the Mario now. And in the future, it could be just human brain cells and doing learning and stuff. It could be.
So instead of AI taking over, we put AI in us, and then we take over.
They were literally like those little machines that connected to it, and then the little dish, right, with stuff inside. It's kind of a horror movie look like, but they're actually scientists was training it and everything. I will find the news is quite interesting as well.
Well, another news that we have is that DeepSeek just released a model new, didn't they? Was it 4.5 or which one did they release, Jinxiao?
They're going to release version 4. Yes, very soon.
Okay. So that's going to be really interesting. I did see that there was they were saying that China. This is I'm not. Now when I say this, I say it's on TikTok. I don't know how true it is. But that China has taken a lot of the big models, and the way they do it is they have like these bots that go and ask questions and then learn from the actual model. So let's say instead of creating Opus 4.6, it'll ask it like 50,000, 100,000 questions, go back and different, they have different computers asking different, and then they learn from that, and then they were able to reverse engineer that model. Have you heard that?
I didn't know that, but I think there's a lot of paper published by those guys, DeepSeek guys. I remember a month and a half, there's no way to train it or something.
I think it's that Kimi. Have you seen the Kimi one as well?
Oh yeah.
KIMI.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, that's quite big in China. Everyone is talking about Kimi, something, or DeepSeek, something. Use different tools and I just look at it like DeepSeek version 3.2. That's their latest one, right? I should look into R1. That's their one. So R1 is 45 cents per million input token.
I remember when it first came out, we talked about on the show.
Yeah, $2.15 for a million output token. So
compared to $28.
yeah, the output, the GPT Pro was 180. So this is what, nearly 100 times, 90 times cheaper. Imagine that.
I'm going to see which one here. What is the latest DeepSeek model in the Llama? It's version 3.2.
Yeah, the version
That's not very
4.
far.
Yeah, the version 4 they haven't released. The version 4, they were saying they had because DeepSeek always lock on the context window, right? Their biggest is 164K of characters. But the version 4 rumor says it has 1 million token parameter. So they finally catch up. And the biggest controversy here is, when a company has model pre-release, they give their model for NVIDIA to test, so NVIDIA can support, can tune,
benchmark it, right?
Yeah, can tune their hardware to support your model better. But this year, version 4 is already pre-release, but they didn't give to NVIDIA. They gave to Huawei.
Wow. Well, does Huawei make GPUs? I
don't know, but for the last year and a half, Chinese government put a lot of money into those. The chip side is always a weakness in China. Yeah, so I don't know where that is now, but they give it to Huawei. They must be testing something over there.
That's interesting. Okay. Well, and I mean, if it's going to work, that's going to be interesting. And I mean, I saw as well, like they're running these M5, which you and I were talking about earlier today. It doesn't make a difference as the M4, M5. It's the memory that connects with the CPU, the RAM memory that connects with the CPU that basically allow it to work bigger models on a local computer rather than a really expensive one.
Yeah, and also the context window. You can run an 8 billion parameter one, which I did. I find out. So
how does that one
run? Each model has the kind of recommended memory size of GPU. You can run it.
Yeah.
And then you can run like a 2049 context window, but you still can run that bigger model. But if you push that context window to what they're supposed to be, like for DeepSeek, even an 8 billion parameter one, if you push to 164K, it would use 40 to 50 gig.
Oh.
So the context window
has a lot of RAM.
Yeah, really matters. So we can see those bigger models, they really do use a lot of power to run. Yeah.
But they're much better. You hope, at least you're hoping that it's much better anyway. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah. 100%. I'm quite happy with DeepSeek at the moment for the price they are.
Well, it's definitely going to. I mean, you need that competitiveness of like someone's offering a lower price, because then it'll force the other ones to move their price down and be more competitive on pricing. For sure.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's not just a giant tech company using them. We want everyone using it, right?
Yes, improvement. I mean, look what's. I mean, if you look at either MCP, well, I mean, maybe not MCP, but even at the Claude, that wasn't invented by a big company. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't a big tech company. Same thing with ChatGPT. I mean, initially when it first came out, it was, who had heard of OpenAI? You know what I mean? And same thing with I would say as well with MCP servers. Like a lot of this stuff is coming out. So anyway, well, with that, we'll leave it. We're coming to the end of our show. Yeah, unless any final thoughts there, Jinchao?
No, just use whatever you have there. I think everyone should try for sure, because those things are improving by the day and just change so quickly. And unless you use it to be one of those people who use AI, it's harder to get replaced, to be honest. It's just too fast now.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Thanks, Jinchao. See you guys next week.
Bye now.